No, folks, well, if you was looking at a zoo animal, let's say it's a big cat, and if that big cat was pacing up and down, and maybe rubbing some of its fur off and stuff like that, and maybe sort of taking the odd swipe now and again at one of the other zoo animals, would you say that that big cat needed psychiatric care and should be, given whatever the latest is for big cats, Prozac for cats and sort of like that sort of thing? Or would you say, well, that big cat's not in the right environment? At the very least, it should be in a big, really spacious enclosure. Ideally, it should have its full freedom, i.e. be in the wild. But I mean, we're talking about a big cat in a zoo now. But we don't do the same with people, do we? No. If you get a person who's a bit wobbly, yeah. What do it? No. So, they got some psychiatric disorder. Now, I'm not saying that there ain't. No. It's like you got your bell curve for your statistical type graph, and you'll always get some people right at one end who, don't matter what environment they're in, they're all a bit do-la-la. And then you'll get some people at the other end of the bell curve, not many of them, that whatever environment you put them in, they still stay as, nice and sane and on the level. And then you've got the vast majority of people in between who, depending on what the environment is and the circumstances is, will, they could go a bit do-la-la or not, sort of thing. And as I say, I thought, well, yeah. As I say, if I'll say it again, just to make my point, really, just to bore you all. But if there was a big cat pacing up and down in a little tiny cage, and it was, doing some odd things that you wouldn't expect out of a big cat, as I say, would the vet come along and say, oh, no, that big cat needs psychiatric care, that big cat needs to be on some medication, and then put the big cat back in the little tiny cage? Or would the vet say, that cage is too small for that big cat? Yeah? I think that's what he'd do, wouldn't he? He'd say, no, it's not right to keep an animal like that all confined up like that, But if it's a person and they got some, it might be mild depression, it could be a lot of depression, it could be that they're a bit, whatever, don't know, sort of thing like that. If it was a person, what do? We take them to the equivalent of a vet, like a doctor, and what do? Oh, that's a bit strange behaviour. That's not normal, that behaviour. Better take them to see the psychiatrist. And then the psychiatrist goes, oh, I've got some nice medication here. That them nice, I could mention certain companies what was linked to the Nazis via the IG Farben, but anyway, I think they produced some solutions, shall we say. But anyway, no, it's ching ching. Thank you very much. We don't say, oh, well, actually, that person, the situation they're in, that's what's causing their disorder, whatever disorder is. We tend not to say that, do we? And I'm saying this because I got a letter from a friend of mine. She's a lovely lady. I've been chasing her a bit, but with times being so hard, I haven't been out to go and see her. See, and she's fair old way from where I am. And no, she unfortunately she lives at home with her mum. See, well, why? I mean, well, because she's like most of us struggling to find any sort of work at all, and even if she had some work, she wouldn't be able to afford to, a big chance to find thing to afford to rent anywhere, or let alone buy anywhere. And so, of course, birds need to fly their nests, don't they? I mean, but the little birds don't stay with their mummy and daddy birds for all their life, do they? They fly off. They need their freedom, and you can only take so much of. I mean, some parents and kids get on really well, and they could live their whole lives together, and it won't make no odds. But there's this little bit of friction there, and in a way, it's sort of like that big cat needs its freedom, It needs to be able to go and explore stuff and go and do stuff. And she's the same. She needs a bit of space. She needs her own space. She don't need her mum telling her this and that and the other. And mums, I've met her mum obviously quite a few times, and her mum's nice enough person, But I'm sure a lot of us know from your relatives, nice people, you love them, you like them, but you can have a bit too much of a good thing, as they say, can't you? So it's just a little observation there, that we don't seem to, sometimes we treat animals better than we treat people, really, don't we? And we don't seem to give the same sort of thought that we give to animals what can't speak, and say, this cage is too small. And when the people say, but my conditions are rubbish, shut up, take your medication. Go and see the psychiatrist. I thought, this is a bit off, this is. So I've got to do something about this. I don't know what I'm going to do about it, but anyway, cheers for now.